What's up, guys? I brought my mom here today because we wanted to discuss trans-related issues. A lot of people have been asking questions about parents, so I brought a parent.
Hi.
If you don't know, for some reason, I'm transgender. This is my mom, and she helped me through basically everything that has to do with that. But I want to tell you guys how I came out to her and how scary it was for me, and then you can get a parent's perspective on what it's like to understand. You know, if you want to show your parents this video, help them understand or whatever. The first time I wanted to come out to you is one day I bought men's underwear because this was before I transitioned, and I wanted to kind of like hint to her, like I don't know how that would hint to you that I want to be a man.
I don't know.
But I was gonna come out to her during that time. I basically
strolled down to the living room with some boxer shorts on.
I didn't have them on.
Yes, you did.
I took them out of the package.
No, you had them on.
I was wearing them?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You had sweatpants on top, and you showed me. I said,
oh, I was like,
what are you doing?
Yeah, she was like, what,
those are men's shorts.
Yeah, she said that. And then I was like, yeah.
And I said, why?
No.
Then you walked away.
No, you said something. You said, you're not a boy. Why are you wearing those?
Oh, yeah, okay.
And then that broke my heart. This is before I transitioned, before I was
So I
male.
had no clue.
So, like, she was just like, oh, what, because I was going to come out to her and be like, yeah, well, I bought these because, and then explain to her, but I couldn't. Just after she said that, I was just like, all right.
So I ruined that minute.
Yeah, I was like, and then that made me scared to come out. Not too long after that, I was probably about 14, 15, I decided to write a letter because I know it's easier to come out when you write letters and stuff like that. So I wrote a letter on how I'm transgender and basically how I want to come out because I couldn't do it, and I was going to give it to her. And I physically couldn't because I was so scared that she was going to be like, I was so scared that you weren't going to accept me.
Right.
Because it's just not something that happens every day. And I didn't know how you would take it. I know you love me. Since I couldn't give her the letter to come out to her, don't know how to do this. How am I supposed to do this? Not too long after that, I found this post on Tumblr basically explaining how someone is transgender, how they feel, and I don't know, I forget how I came across it from it. It explained what transgender was so well, just like a really well written long thing. I'm gonna have my mom read this, and you did read it.
I did. So I sat there and I read it, and I was like, that makes sense to me. And if this is what Sam's going through, then I better learn how to figure it out because he's struggling with it and I need to help him.
Which a loving parent would typically do.
I don't even know what I did after that time.
I think it took a long time for her to process it. It takes a long time usually for parents to process. I want to go to a gender therapist.
Yeah, so then Sam kept asking me, Mom, did you get me a therapist? And I'd be like, not yet. Like I kind of just pushed it off. I thought it would go away.
Yeah.
And I think that's a common reaction from a parent, denial, because they don't know what to do. And I honestly didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to ask for help because I didn't know anyone that was transgender. And to hear your own child come out and say that, it's scary. Like I felt as a parent, I was afraid. I was afraid for my son. I was afraid for me. I was afraid for my family. It's like I felt all alone. And I'm sure that's how Sam felt for years, but I didn't know that.
I feel like a lot of parents feel like it's their fault if their child is LGBT.
Especially transgender, because it was a newer thing at that time. I thought maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I brought him up the wrong way. All these different things enter my mind like it's my fault.
And it's not.
But for a while, I thought that.
I feel like a lot of parents feel that way though, but it's not the parents' fault. It's how we feel and how we want to live our lives. It's not something anyone else can help. It's just literally us.
So it took me time. I got Sam a gender therapist. I just researched crazy, like 24 hours a day. I was on the internet. I was on forums. Every day there would be a new story from a parent saying, my child told me this today and I don't know what to do. So I joined a support group that I went to every Sunday, and it was very hard to go there and just talk about this. I would break down and cry, and everyone was in the same boat. All the parents were there for the same reason, and that was very helpful. I bought books.
She went all out. Like she was
It's like it consumed me.
Yeah. I feel like a parent should do this though.
You have to, because I had to make sure that he was okay.
I think at the end of the day, it shows how much you care and love your kid if you're willing to help them through whatever you're going through.
And you should help them no matter what it is.
It's your child. You should love your kid unconditionally.
But
no
there
what.
are parents that don't.
Which a lot of you guys have in it. I hate it so much.
I do too, and I read the comments on Sam's YouTube videos from a lot of kids that they tell their parents and they don't support them. They throw them out of the house. They won't pay for their surgery. They won't get them help, and it's so wrong because they're gonna lose their kid.
They just want to be happy. Look how happy I am now. Like, even the family says I'm just
such a different,
totally different person. I don't understand why a family wouldn't want to see someone happy, whether they're gay or whether they're trans or anything like that. I don't understand why parents and families don't want to see that person happy. Because it just, that's all it takes is support and love.
Even in our own family, we had that problem where there were certain relatives that couldn't accept it or didn't understand it. And even if I explained it, they just decided, we can't deal with that because we don't know what that means. And maybe it's a phase. When I knew myself that my kid wasn't going through a phase, that this was a lifestyle change and something that he was struggling with for years. These people are not in our lives anymore, and I don't want to talk about them a lot.
Showing the reality.
It makes me feel that, and Sam said this before, if you have relatives or friends or parents that don't understand it or are ignorant to it or can't open their minds to it, then basically they don't care. They don't love you. And he said that before. It's very simple. The ones that don't support you and can't accept it and they think it's weird or anything, cut them out. And that's what Sam has done. And there weren't that many, but of course, you know, there's gonna be some in any case.
Yeah. So I remember when I got my first haircut.
And I felt that it was gonna really bother me, that I would be crying as I saw the hair being cut off. Sam's hair was really like long as mine.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had that person for 16 years. I thought that I would be upset. And when I saw the hair being cut and the big smile that came on his face in the mirror, like, I almost started crying.
I'm gonna cry.
Sam's friend Jason was there, and it was like a happy time.
And it was just a haircut.
Sam just like came out, there he is. And there it is. And he's happy. And that's all that mattered to me. I didn't care. I didn't even look at the hair on the floor. I left there happy. He was happy. Everybody was happy. And that's what it should be about. And at first, I also want to say that, you know, I've always worked full time. So I'd have to go into work and pretend everything's great at home. And meanwhile, I'm like tormented because I'm trying to help my kid to get school straightened out and the therapist and the doctors and changing everything, the name and everything. It's just so much work and you have to go to work, and I was totally exhausted by the whole thing. And I didn't want him to see it, because I'm trying to be a strong woman and a mother for him, you know, a single parent, and doing this by myself. Of course, I had a lot of great resources that I want to thank.
Before we end this video, I want you guys to leave with something. It's not always gonna be easy. Yeah, so like if you guys want to show this video to your parents so maybe they get a better understanding or whatever, do you have anything to say to them who might be confused, who might be scared, who might not even accept their kid?
Yes. Okay, as a parent to a transgender child at the time, because Sam was about 15 when he told me, I understand what you're going through. I understand that it's scary. Believe me, I thought I was the only one in the world at the time. I had no one to help me. I didn't know who to talk to or who to tell. Of course, I told my sisters, who were very good and supportive of it. They would do anything for him. Of course, I had found some resources and called some people that helped and get Sam some help, because the family and the parents also need assistance and therapy and stuff like that together, as well as the kid. Everybody has to change, and it's like a transition for everybody. It's not just for Sam. It's a transition. I had to learn new pronouns, which is very difficult. You're used to calling your child one pronoun his whole life or her whole life, and then you have to switch it, and it's like switching everything. But believe me, 4 years later, it's like so easy. With all the struggles with doctors and hospitals and all that stuff, Sam's doing really great today, thanks to all of you guys supporting him. But I want to say to the parents, educate yourself, look up resources if you really want to support your child.
If you love your child.
And which you should do, because if you don't, you're going to lose them. You're gonna lose them to either suicide, or they're gonna run away, or they're gonna get involved with the wrong people.
Depression.
Or they'll go with people that do support them, that families and friends will support them, and they may have to leave their own family, which is pretty sad. I'm telling you, it's just, you know, your kid should be your number one priority. He's always been, no matter what man has been in my life, this kid has always been number one, and he always will be. That's my advice to parents, and it does get better. It does get easier, but you really have to do a lot of homework.
I'm gonna say something to the trans kids. Again, not every parent is accepting, but as she said, if a parent or a family member truly loves you, they're going to support you through whatever you're going through. Regardless, it honestly shouldn't matter. If they love you, they're going to love you. They're going to support you and help you through whatever you're going through. And I can't understand why parents would not want to do that.
Because there's a lot of people that are just closed-minded, and they want their kid to be a certain way, and this is the way you are, and this is how you should be, and I don't care how you feel. Everyone's an individual, and it shouldn't be up to the parent to decide how their kid should live their life.
And I just wish everyone could have endless support.
And if any parents have questions for me,
comment on the video.
Comment on the video if you need help or advice on anything. I can give you some resources, or I can give you some advice.
I hope this video helps you guys, even in the slightest bit, maybe make you feel better about coming out if you haven't or anything like that. Without her, I would not be here. So, if you didn't support me, I would not be here. If you guys did like that video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and I want to let you know that I'm going on tour. I know I won't shut up about it. Tour dates, they'll be down below. Tour ticket link will be down below, all that stuff. Please come see me. I really want to see you guys, and I will see you next Sunday. Peace.